how do you conquer the NBA Finals? With 55 points, a white-hot hand, and a pair of shoes that defined a generation. June 16, 1993, Game 4 in Chicago. The Phoenix Suns are desperate, fighting for their championship lives. The Chicago Bulls are relentless, aiming for a historic three-peat. And Michael Jordan? Well, Michael Jordan is about to make history in front of a roaring Chicago stadium crowd that's ready to erupt. Tonight, on Air Jordan Game Nights, we're not just watching highlights. We're breaking down MJ8's single greatest scoring performance in the NBA Finals and revealing the story behind the Air Jordan 8 he wore. A shoe as bold and unforgettable as the moment itself. This is where basketball genius and sneaker culture collide. Let's get into it. The Air Jordan 8, specifically the playoffs colorway in black and red, wasn't just a sneaker. It was Jordan's armor for the biggest stage in basketball. Think about the design. It was a departure, something aggressive and new. Those bold, fuzzy chenille tongue patches, the vibrant abstract patterns on the heel and outsole, and most iconic of all, the dual Velcro cross straps. These weren't just for show. They were designed by Tinker Hatfield to provide unparalleled lockdown and support for a player who moved with explosive force and refused to slow down, even for a second. By 1993, the Air Jordan line wasn't just popular, it was a cultural phenomenon. The demand had reached a fever pitch. Every kid, every fan, every collector wanted what Mike was wearing. When the AJ8 playoffs dropped, it was chaos in the best way possible. Stores sold out instantly. People lined up for hours, all hoping to grab a piece of MJ's finals magic. This shoe embodied his aggressive, never-say-die style, and wearing it felt like you were channeling a piece of that greatness. It was more than leather and rubber. It was a symbol of dominance. Now let's get to the game itself, because this wasn't just a win. It was a masterclass in scoring. From the opening buzzer, you could see MJ was on a different level. He was locked in. The Suns threw everything they had at him. Dan Majerle, one of the league's tougher defenders, was draped all over him. They sent double teams. They tried to clog the lane, but nothing worked. Jordan was a force of nature. He started by attacking the rim, splitting defenders with that lightning-quick first step, and finishing in traffic over giants like Charles Barkley and Mark West. When the defense sagged off, he'd pull up and drain silky smooth jumpers, that picture-perfect form on full display. His first half was simply spectacular, a relentless assault that set the tone for the entire night. He wasn't just scoring. He was surgically dismantling Phoenix's entire defensive strategy, one bucket at a time. Every time the Suns thought they had an answer, Jordan would just come back with a more difficult, more demoralizing shot. It was pure, unadulterated basketball genius. When the final horn sounded, the stat line was legendary. 55 points on an incredibly efficient 21 for 37 shooting, which is 57% from the field. He also grabbed 8 rebounds and dished out 4 assists. To put that in perspective, he became one of only 5 players in the entire history of the NBA Finals to score 50 or more points in a game. And it remains the highest point total ever in a Bulls Finals victory. This wasn't just a great game. It was an all-time performance, etched forever in the record books. And let's not forget the incredible rivalry that fueled this fire. On the other side was Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound. He had just been crowned the league's MVP, snatching the award from Jordan, and had led the Suns to the finals with unparalleled swagger and skill. Barkley was on a mission to stop Chicago's three-peat dreams, and he played like it. Game 4 was an absolute war. It wasn't a blowout, it was a heavyweight title fight. Barkley himself was magnificent, notching a 32-point triple-double. Teammate Dan Majerle was on fire from deep, hitting 6 three-pointers to keep Phoenix in the game. Every time the Suns made a run and the Chicago crowd got nervous, Jordan would answer. Every Phoenix rally was met with MJ's sheer brilliance. A A contested layup in a sea of bodies, a tough fadeaway jumper, or a demoralizing mid-range dagger that just sucked the life out of the opposition. The lead changed hands multiple times, but in crunch time, when the game was on the line, MJ seized control and refused to let go. You have to imagine the atmosphere inside that old Chicago stadium. It was electric, deafening. It was one of those legendary buildings that felt like the fans were right on top of the court. With every possession, you could feel the crowd sensing they were witnessing greatness. They were roaring, stomping, living and dying with every shot. When the dust settled, the Bulls had held off the charging Suns, winning 111-105 and taking a commanding 3-1 series lead. They were now just one win away from their third consecutive championship. After the game, the praise was universal. Sports writers, who had seen it all, marveled at the performance. But the most telling quote came from his rival, Charles Barkley. He famously said, "I thought I had a pretty good game, and the man next to me goes for 55. He was simply unstoppable." When the league MVP admits you were on another planet, you know you just did something special. Jordan's display left an indelible mark, not just in the record books, but on the very legacy of what it means to be clutch in the NBA Finals. So what is the legacy of this game and the shoe he wore? MJ's 55-point finals masterpiece is the gold standard for greatness. It's the perfect blend of athletic flair, unmatched skill, and that killer instinct that separates the good from the legendary. And the Air Jordan 8 playoffs? It became a cultural icon, forever fused with one of the most dominant and memorable games in the history of the sport. Every time you see that shoe, you think of this game. You think of 55 points. You think of greatness. Now, I want to hear from you. What stands out most about this incredible night? Is it Jordan's mind-blowing stats? The intense drama of the finals rivalry against Barkley? Or is it that unforgettable strap-heavy sneaker that he wore while doing it all? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you for joining us on Air Jordan Game Nights. If you love stories where basketball legends and sneaker history become one, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.